The markets are correcting, they are adjusting, and sellers are being forced to reckon with this. You didn't buy a condo just to have 4 walls and a strata fee. You bought a stepping stone, a launch pad, a first investment, a way into the marketplace. All of it typically to build wealth towards your next real home. But now, this dream is starting to feel like a trap. There are thousands of condos sitting on the marketplace. Prices are sliding. But here's the thing, you're not alone and you're not powerless. In this episode, I'm going to show you exactly why this is happening, what's really going on beneath the surface here, and how you can survive and whether there is a way out. And this is for both buyers and sellers. It's likely when you go back to buying your condo, you bought into the idea of homeownership. Most of us do when we buy our first place. Very few of us are actually speculating in the market. Maybe this was your first foray into Vancouver real estate and you're wondering, what have I done? Maybe this was your first investment. Like me, you were probably told this was a smart move, on a path to long-term financial stability. I mean, we've heard it. But now, right now, prices are down. Interest rates are high, rents are sluggish. It feels like the market has turned on you. Let's start with the facts. Metro Vancouver condo sales were down 19% year over year in May of 2025, with just 1,087 sales. Yet listings hit a whopping 7,370. This is the highest in over a decade, and just that stat alone shows you just how difficult it is for sellers right now, and maybe what an opportunity it is for buyers. The question, I think, for buyers is whether or not they're going to continue to see more of this. The sales to listing ratio is sitting at about 14.5%, and that is teetering on buyer market territory and has been for a long time now. The benchmark price, it's $757,300, and that's down about 2.5% year over year. So if you bought it year over year, chances are you're already down a little bit. But if you bought in the peak of 2021 and 2022, chances are you're really feeling this. I mean, it's brutal out there for sellers. Units, they're sitting. And here's the part that is the kicker, the part that is maybe fueling this more than we would otherwise have felt. It's not just the resale business. Thousands of pre-sale units from 2020 are completing right now, and some buyers can't even close. To be fair, when they bought those homes, prevailing interest rates were 1.5%. And now they're sitting at 4.5%, and they simply can't close, rent it out, and be even net neutral on their cash flow. But here's the thing. This isn't a forever problem. The way you have to look at this is by zooming out a little bit. Detached homes in Vancouver are still around $2 million, and that prices the vast majority of home buyers out. Over time, that is going to drive buyers back to the condo market. There will be some missing middle homes that are coming to the marketplace, but they're still years away from construction. So you will see a bit of a pushback to the condo market. It's just going to take some time. Developers are also pausing new projects. Future supply is shrinking. We see that through just the pure lack of building starts that are taking place now. It means that when demand returns, even modestly, the market could tighten a little quicker than we had otherwise thought. Plus, we're in the middle of a rate cutting cycle, albeit it feels paused at the time being because of all of the tariff stuff that came up. And then, of course, the election in Canada. If rates do continue to cut, investors will begin to circle again. It's a function of time, but a rebalance needs to take place. Some are already out there making low offers, and they are scooping up the odd deal from people who have to sell. So while it might feel like you're alone in this sort of very sluggish and in many ways collapsing real estate market that here in Vancouver most people aren't used to, this pivot could last 6 months to a year. All right, let's get tactical. So if you're a seller right now, here's how to protect your equity and avoid costly mistakes. You must price for the market you're in, not the one you remember or the one you wish you had sold in. Study what is currently selling, not just listed, I mean selling. There's usually a discrepancy in the amount that properties are listed and the amount they're selling by. Find out what that ratio is it's important because it's likely what you're going to be negotiating. Use sales data. Just use the raw data. Don't lie to yourself in the situation. The data never does. Use a data-driven decision. You can do other things too, like you can offer different incentives depending on what your property is. For condos, as an example, you could cover 3 months of their strata. Maybe discount your storage locker or discount your parking stall fee. We can also look at how do we make it turnkey? Well, you're not competing with just buyers. I want to get that through your head. You're competing with brand new listings and pre-sales that are also coming to the marketplace. So you have buyers to attract and other sellers to compete against. So you have to stage it. You have to stand out. You have to do the fixes. You've got to make sure all the light bulbs are the same. You have to paint it before you go. There are so many elements that you can do to help your listing stick out. If you want to know more about those, you can always book a call or download our Sell for Top Dollar guide, and it'll show you the whole list of how to get your home ready. Here's the other thing too. Targeting first-time home buyers, this is probably a smart strategy right now, as the government has just incentivized first-time home buyers, especially if your product you're selling a pre-sale or you're selling an assignment that includes GST. This is an opportunity where they don't have to pay GST anymore. So targeting how you're selling and how you're presenting your property, you certainly want to make sure that buyers are aware of what's available to them. Lastly, if you can't sell right now, or if you are selling and it's just too low and you can't eat that, then what you have to do is consider renting. You've got to get through this period. You've got to wait for global liquidity cycles to come back, a shift in the economy, and you may need some time for that to happen. So consider renting it out, and consider renting sooner than later before more people consider that and push the overall rental averages down. Now for buyers, this is your moment to go on the offense. You've been waiting for a moment like this in Vancouver real estate for a long time. Use this to your advantage. Leverage this. Here's some effective ways of stretching every dollar that you have. You can hunt for distressed listings. You can look for vacant units. You can look for consistent price drops on that unit. That shows you a very motivated seller. Days on market, assuming that they're greater than 45 days on market, that property is likely mispriced, or there's something maybe not right with the way it flows. There could be something materially wrong with the building as well, but chances are 9 times out of 10, it's been mispriced. So if it's sitting on the market for 100 days, that's another perfect target to go and take a look at. Number 2 is always negotiate. In this market, you can ask for everything. Flexible closing times, included furniture, favorable terms. Some sellers will just take it just to move on. Depending on who you're getting your financing with, there are potential rate buy downs that could be available to you. There's some cashback mortgage promos as well. For example, we do a lot of work with the Bank of Montreal, and they do a cashback program. If you want to learn more about how to get that, just reach out. I'll put you in touch with the Bank of Montreal and get you that cashback promo. If you can, when you're looking for condos now, as a buyer, you also want to look in perhaps more boutique style buildings for a couple of reasons. One, there's less overall supply of this particular building and condos in that particular building. That will protect your value because it's scarce. If you're buying into a condo tower that has 400 or 500 units in it, it's going to be a lot harder to protect the value, as there's going to be a lot more supply to compete with. So certainly if you're buying a pre-sale or you are looking at an assignment, be considerate of how many units are actually for sale in that building or completing altogether. You certainly want to think long-term when you buy real estate. This is not a market to speculate in. So if you're buying for yourself, certainly think about buying and being in that property for at least the next 5 years. You'll ride a lot of this out, and you'll likely be on the upside when the next cycle begins. The bottom line is the market is cold, but smart moves today mean you'll get in at a much better price than if you wait this out. I know it feels counterproductive because prices could still move down, or rates maybe aren't exactly where you want them to be. For the buyers that we're representing right now, they are getting good deals. And if you want to know more about that, I'm happy to show you. This is maybe just the last bit I'll get at. And I think it's probably the most important. Who you work with in times like this, especially when the markets are going down and they're more difficult to navigate, really makes the difference between protecting your upside or your downside. You really need to work with a real estate agent who doesn't just treat it like another listing. This is a complete financial pivot, and you need to dive deep into what it means, not just for the transaction, but how are you going to make money after this decision for the next 5 years? How can you negotiate a really good price in this downward cycle? I've been in this industry for most of my career, from construction project management and development in the first decade, all the way through selling over $450 million worth of real estate and investment properties here in Vancouver in the last 8 years. My team and I, we tailor every listing, every strategy to the current market that we find ourselves in. We do the process that ensures the right result. If you're selling and you don't want to lose and you're looking to protect your downside, much like I've talked about here, there are strategies for you. And on the flip side, if you are a buyer and you're looking to take advantage of this, leverage this position that, Vancouver real estate so rarely finds itself in, I can give you those strategies too, much like we've talked about today. So the condo market is in flux. Some people will panic, others will plan. The ones who typically plan are the ones who win. And remember, the first rule of planning is that it never goes to plan. I hope this video helped you. Please like it, subscribe it, and share it with someone who's navigating the very same issues that you find yourself in here. I'm Ryan. I'll see you on the next one.